everyone, Renee here. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing a book haul. So I haven't done a book haul since September or October, and I have accumulated a handful more books. There's about 25 to 30 books here that I've accumulated, honestly, mostly in the past 2 months, because at the end of last year I was on a book buying ban. So once Christmas hit, so I don't like my book hauls to be super large because editing me doesn't like that. So I wanted to do this before I got many more. So we're not gonna waste time because I don't want this video to be super long. We are just gonna jump right into it, and literally in no particular order. We're just gonna grab one. Oh, also let me just say, I'm not really gonna go into synopsises for all of these books because that would just take too long. So I might give a brief sentence about the book, and we'll see how we do with that. The first book that I got was You've Reached Sam by Dustin Tao. This essentially is a really sad book. Girl's boyfriend dies, but somehow is still able to communicate with him through the phone. Depressing much? Yes. Honestly, really loved this book. I have read this one. So good. And the cover. Next up, we have My Pride and Joy, which is the anniversary illustrated edition from Waterstones of The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by Lee E. Schwab. This is my favorite book of all time, and this edition, I don't know if I've showed it on my channel before, but it's stunning. It is so stunning. Gorgeous, and it does have art. So it has art here, and then it also has like full color artworks that are just stunning, like stunning. Literally, I just had to have this. I had to. Next up is actually my current read, so you'll see a little bookmark, which is Hook, Line, and Sinker by Tessa Bailey. This literally just came out, and I'm obsessed. I've been tabbing it. This is actually the first book that I have drawn a line in, like to annotate. I'm evolving as a person to be able to draw a line in my book. But this, I'm so excited to read, and I loved It Happened One Summer. I'm obsessed with this duology. I'm obsessed with these sisters, so I had to get this. The next 3 books here are probably my most recent books that I've bought because like I said with the last one, I am evolving as a person, as a reader, and these next 3 books are books that are a little bit out of my comfort zone, but I've actually been really interested in them, and I'm really in the mood to read them. So to start, we have My Year of Rest and Relaxation. I do not want to butcher this author's name, so this is the name. But I've heard so much about this book, and I've been seeing a lot of books around Bookstagram and Book Talk and just everywhere, just literary fiction with strong women, unhinged women, women who don't know what they're doing in their mid-20s. And to be honest, those are the types of books that I need to be reading right now, as a woman in her mid-20s who does not know where she's going. So I have been really interested in this type of book. So this is actually my most recent one. I literally just picked this up 2 days ago. So I'm excited to read it, and I hope that it has an impact. A lot of people say that it does, and I'm just really looking for that right now. Next up, we have Tender as the Flesh, and this is a book that's daunted me for a minute because I've seen it floating around. I've heard really good things about it. Everyone that I've seen who's read this has really enjoyed it. And I know that it is a little bit different, and it is a little bit more hard-hitting, maybe a little bit more uncomfortable, but I also hear that it's really compelling. From what I know about this book, all of the animal meat has become toxic to humans, or something is preventing humans from being able to eat animal meat. So they begin to eat each other, like other humans. But honestly, I think this will be really interesting. But aside from that odd sounding plot, I have heard that it does touch on the norms of society and just how we are as humans. And that to me is the main point of why I want to read this. And I'm just really excited. It's really short. I think it's less than 200 pages. So I hopefully will fly through this. Next up, we have a book that is probably one of my most anticipated reads here, and that is Acts of Desperation by Megan Nolan. I have heard so much about this. All good things. Like, this has been popping off on my feeds lately, so I had to buy it. Apparently it is an anti-romance, and it is just a really personal read for a lot of people. A lot of people find something relatable in this book, and I am really excited for that. Like I said, unhinged women in their mid-20s, I think that's gonna be the theme this year. I think that's going to be a continuing trend this year, at least in my library, my small but mighty library. So I'm really looking forward to this. You're gonna hear me say that I'm looking forward to, or I'm really excited for, a lot of these books, and I just am. I'm really happy to have them. I love buying books. I don't know what I like more, buying books or reading books. Then we have People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. As you may well know, this was one of my favorite books of 2021, and now one of my all-time favorite books in general. My mom got me this for Christmas just so I could add it to my library because I actually didn't own it, and I'm really happy to have it in my collection. I've raved about this book enough. I don't think I need to speak more on it. You can pretty much find me talking about this in several videos on my channel, but it is an amazing romance book, rom-com, book of my dreams. Love it. Love Emily Henry. Then we have Electric Idol by Katie Robert. This is book 2 in the Dark Olympus series. I did read Neon Gods last year, absolutely loved it. Did not expect to love it as much as I did. And this is her follow-up, so instead of following Hades and Persephone, this one follows Psyche and Eros, and I am just so stoked to see where this goes. There is nothing like a good, spicy mythology retelling to really just fill your heart, you know? So, very excited. Then we have another Christmas gift from my mom, actually, which is Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. I love Christina Lauren, definitely my favorite author duo, and I have been working my way through their books. And this one had been getting a lot of love, and it still does get a lot of love, and honestly, rightfully so. This is a friends to lovers book, or a friends to strangers to lovers, but I cried. Yeah, I cried. So if you want a book that is maybe a little bit more emotional. Next up, we have probably the only other YA book in this haul, and that is White Smoke by Tiffany D. Jackson. I love Tiffany D. Jackson, and I'm really excited to get into this book. This is a YA book, but I have heard that this is actually really scary. Like, I've heard a bunch of people say that this genuinely gave them the creeps, considering that it is a YA book, and I am just so stoked about that. I love when a book just gives me the heebie-jeebies. Okay, and to get that out of a YA book, it doesn't happen often, so I'm very, very excited about this. I do really enjoy Tiffany D. Jackson's writing style. I love her, so I think I'm gonna love this book, and this cover is everything. Then we have a box set, and I didn't want to take them out of the box because I'm lazy, and if you've ever owned a box set, you know that it is hard to get them back in the box. So I just have the first 3 books of the Wayward Children series. So we have Every Heart a Doorway, Down Among the Sticks and Bones, and Beneath the Sugar Sky by Seanan McGuire. I love this series. I have read all of these. I'm working my way through the series. I think there's, 7, 8? I don't know. So I do still have a long way to go. I'm on book 4. But this is just such a good, whimsical, escapist series. It literally transports me away. That's what I meant, not escapist, transportive. I think that sounds better. Yeah. But it just completely takes me away. It's so captivating, and I am obsessed. And if you are looking for a instant just check out of reality, I highly recommend these books. Next up, we are getting into a little bit of the order of the video. So those are all of my novels. All these other books are poetry books, graphic novels, and manga because I have accumulated a decent amount of those, actually. So I have 2 poetry books. The first one is Bloom for Yourself by April Green. I loved this. This is my first poetry book in years. I don't know why, but I suddenly got into a poetry mood, and I just picked this up from Barnes & Noble on a whim. And it is amazing. So many self-affirmations in this book, and I think it's something that everybody could benefit from. I think there's at least one poem in here that everybody will feel deeply, and I just love that. And I think this is going to be a book that I reread a lot. But it is just a great collection, self-love, self-growth, self-affirmation, just loving you as a person, so. And then the other one that I got is Watering the Soul by Courtney Peppernell. Look at this guy. I'm not gonna lie, when I say that the whole reason I got this book was because of this little guy right here. That's it. I've never read a Courtney Peppernell collection. I know that she's the author of the Pillow Thoughts poetry collection, I think. Yeah, never read a poetry collection by her, but I hope that I really like this one. It does have cute little illustrations throughout. Look, the little guy. So this just seems right up my alley, and I can't wait to delve into this, but it's so cute. Then we have a few graphic novels, starting with Heartstopper Volume 2. I did start this series last year. I did think it was really, really cute and really well done. And I am so looking forward to moving forward with the series. I think the 5th one comes out this year, and I think that's the last one. So I definitely want to catch up on the series before then. So I have this one, and hopefully we'll have 3 and 4 soon. Next up we have Witches. This is volume 1. I do not know how many volumes there are in this. I saw the cover, and honestly, it just looks like a good horror-esque graphic novel that I would really love to read in like October. So I am gonna be saving this, and I hope I love it. And it's blurbed by Stephen King. It says, "It's fabulous, a triumph." Stephen King. And that was enough for me. I was sold. Then we have Snot Girl Volume 3. I stand corrected. This is Snot Girl Volume 2. I knew that sounded wrong. I was like, I don't think I've read all 3. I love the art in here. Like, this is just such a fun story. I don't even know what it's about. I've read the first 2 volumes and I can't even tell you the premise. It's so weird and wacky and almost feels pointless, but like in the best way. I don't know how else to explain it. It's a cluster of WTFs and I love it. Then moving on, we have my manga. So I've been on a big manga kick, so I have bought a decent amount. Starting with volumes 1, 2, and 3 of Your Name. This is the entire collection, and oh my god, I did just finish this. It is a new favorite manga series of mine. It is a sci-fi-esque, cute romance that definitely pulls on your heartstrings, and it's just a great adventure, and I love when mangas aren't super long. And this also does have a film adaptation as well, which now that I've finished the series, I'm definitely gonna go read because incredible. Next up, we have this mammoth, which is the 20th anniversary edition of Paradise Kiss. This I had to grab as soon as I saw it. This is stunning. Like, this cover, wow. I did watch Paradise Kiss when I was younger. I think I watched it twice, but I don't think I'd ever read it. So when I saw this, it is the complete collection of it from start to finish. I just grabbed it immediately, and it is just so nostalgic for me to have this. I do really love Ayazawa so much. She's a great artist and a great storyteller, and her stories, if you don't know, are definitely more on the more mature side. So if you don't like the typical cutesy at school type of manga, hers are definitely more mature. This one, they are in high school, but it's still pretty mature, and it's literally blurbed as a story about high fashion and hot drama. So how could you not want to try it out? Like, I'm obsessed. And then I'm actually going to use that to segue into my next one, which is volume 1 of Nana. This is another Ayazawa story. This is actually one of my favorite anime mangas of all time. I absolutely love it. I've watched it and I've read it, but it's been a really long time since. So I did want to start collecting the volumes. This is the first one. This is the only one I've been able to find so far, and I do want to go in order. So I'm just so excited to have this. Essentially, 2 girls, both named Nana, end up sitting together on a train, and then funny enough, they end up going to look at the same apartment in the city, and because neither one of them can compromise, they just live together. And they're both so different. And it's a story of life and love and growth, and it is so stunning. Yes, love it, obsessed. And then we also have volume 1 of Perfect World. I picked this up on a whim. I picked this up on a complete whim. I literally just saw that he was in a wheelchair, and I was like, yes, thank you, because I don't often see disability rep in manga, and I was really intrigued by this and really interested to see how the story would go. And also, they're in their 20s. They're not in high school, they're in their 20s. It might flash back to high school because they knew each other in high school and he was her high school crush, but they're older. And like I said, I am also getting old. So also my heater just kicked in. I thought I could film a full video without it kicking in, and I'm also low-key mad about it because I literally only have one more book to talk about. So I'm so sorry if you hear the fans above me. It's too late. It's too late. So the last one that I have is I Want to Eat Your Pancreas, the complete manga collection. This, I know, it's a weird title, and every time I show it to someone, they're like, but it's actually really, really sad because it follows our main girl here who has pancreatic cancer, and then the boy here is just trying to help her, and he starts getting close with her, and he just tries to make her last days better and like help her live a full life. And when you look at it like that, it's really freaking sad. The cover is surprisingly very cute. I love the cherry blossom and the color aesthetic of this book. Those are all of the books. I don't know how many there are. 25 to 30, I'm gonna say. 25 to 30, I'm gonna say. I've been having a problem of going to Barnes & Noble on all of my days off. So I'm not gonna do that today. Because I do have off, but I'm not gonna do that because I need to chill. That's pretty much all I have for you. I do have most of these compiled in a list on my Goodreads on my own shelf, so if you want more information on any of these, my Goodreads will be linked down below along with all of my other socials, so you can look at the books there, and you can also follow me on my other platforms and keep up with me on Goodreads in general, see what I'm reading. So that will be down below as well. But that's pretty much all I have for you for this video. If you liked it, don't forget to hit the thumbs up down below to help support this channel, and also hit subscribe to follow me on my reading journey if you haven't already. And once again, my socials, they'll be down below, so definitely check me out on Instagram, Twitter, Goodreads, you know, the works. And yeah, I hope you liked this video, and I'll see you in the next one.